Tell me when you see it go live.
I see recording live at the top.
There we go. Boom. We are live. That's making me enter restream. Yep. And I got the notification. All right. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the Poconos, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by The Sportscast. Today is March 14th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to The Sportscast on all our channels. YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes. You can either go to Jersey Boys Sports Talk, the little purple podcast on your iPhone, or just go to Spotify. You can search us. You can see Byron and I. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you like what you're seeing here, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. Please smash the like button and subscribe button on YouTube so you can hear our shows whenever you want. And you can see us live, but you can also hear us. We also have a lot of downloads for great stuff. So either our guest shows as well as, Byron does a lot of draft picks. He does a lot of Excel sheets that are doing depth charts and so forth within the Giants organization and throughout the league. So you have a lot of good information there, and we have regular guests throughout the week or throughout each week. So let's get ready to rumble. A lot of stuff happening today. So welcome to the show, and let's get going, Mr. Byron. How's everything going?
Oh, everything is wonderful in the Poconos. It was 70 something degrees today. It was kind of hot up here today.
That's
And
pretty
I
hot.
guess,
That's pretty hot.
yeah, for up here. And then, of course, as soon as it hits the 70s, people start taking more clothes off. People walk around in shorts and t-shirts. And it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So you're in the Poconos. You stay in the same place in the Poconos because you go to Poconos, South Carolina, Atlantic City. So you got like three
Yeah,
spots.
everything is the same place. Poconos
Oh,
is,
and so what do? You just chill out there, just relax, just get some just downtime?
yeah, downtime. I'm stressed out, man. I'm retired and everything. And, I deal with the kids, the 3 days and stuff. I need a break. The kids is a lot.
Man, I give you credit, bro, man. I don't know if I could handle that, man. That's like I just don't, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle that. I mean, I guess that's pretty good that you're able to just chill out. I would go crazy. I would be reading. I have to do something. I don't know if I could sit still. But you
I
just wake up, relax, just eat.
watch TV for a minute and then, pick up a book, every now and then and nothing, hang out. That's it. What are you supposed to do? I'm not in a hurry to do anything. That's
That's
the
all.
bottom.
And you're stress free, right? So that's what counts. I mean, like I like to. I mean, for me, I got to be always doing something, but I also brings a lot of stress. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, that's part of the game. All right, let's get going. We got lots of stuff to talk about. What's happening? So I carved out some pieces. I'm sure you're gonna want to bring up some stuff. We're expecting a few guests. I was hoping John comes to see his story on a few things that are taking place. But let's get into. Let me go. I got free agency. We're going to talk about. All right.
And
So I have it separated between like stuff with like Giants players, and then I have it with just other free agency key items to talk about. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Saquon to Philly, bro.
yeah, that hurt. Oof, that was I expected it, kind of, sort of.
You
But
mentioned you said he was a Philly. You said he was a Pennsylvania boy. Remember,
he's
you
from
jing,
Allentown. He
you
went to high
jing.
school there. He went to Penn State there. So go figure. If any team that he would go to would be, he probably grew up like in Philadelphia. He just didn't want, the Giant fans to know that he was a Philadelphia Eagle fan growing up. But yeah, that was a shocker. And they didn't even offer him. Once they got the offer,
He didn't make much more money than he was going to make with the Giants.
probably about another, 2 million a year. He wanted, I think, was 14 million or whatever the range he's at.
No, no, he's got 3 years, 37 million. That's like 12 million something, a little bit, 12 million three.
Yeah, but with incentives, it could be 47 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if he hits, 1,500 yards or touchdowns, receiving, whatever, you
Right,
know,
right. Well, it's better than Dallas, number one. But I personally look. I like Saquon, so I wish him the best. But I don't like. To me, it goes back to what you and I have been saying. It's indicative of how bad the ownership has been managing this football team. Like, why would you let him go? I mean, I know you didn't have a choice, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm just disgusted. That's all. I don't know what to say. I wish Saquon none the best. I think Philly's a good team for him to go to. I said it all last year. Eric and it was kind of debating this quite a bit, but I think something's wrong in Philly. Like they got too much talent to be that bad. Like, their record wasn't an indicative of the talent that they have.
Yeah, because they didn't, they invested all that money and whatever and draft picks on the offense, and they forgot about the safety position, free safety. They got two corners that are over 30 years of age. Most teams don't have two corners that are that age. They usually have a one young guy and then an older guy, but they have two that are over 30. Bradbury played pretty good. Yeah, and Slade was just, I think they told him that he can go look for a trade or whatever. He ain't going anywhere. But and the guy that they traded for, Bayard, I think his name, from Tennessee, the All Pro safety, they even let him walk. He's gone. Even though they traded for him late, they got him like a rental. And now he's gone. So they re-signed C.J. Gardner, the guy that they had a couple years ago that left and went to Detroit Lions, and now he came back, even though he badmouthed he badmouthed the Eagles on the way out the door. So I'm gonna see how he's gonna make up with that one. But they're working on fixing the secondary and the linebacker spot, but still they got a lot of talent on offense. And with our guy in the backfield, Jay is going to be it's going to be a beast.
Well, two things. Well, one, okay, two things. Let's stick with our guy first, right? With our guy, it's definitely going to make an impact. But the concern is we kept saying they need to run the ball all last year, even when they had guys, and they didn't run it.
No,
Now now you're paying a guy, so you better run it. But they did have that other guy that they brought in, they never ran it, right?
yeah,
So that's one. So I Saquon's definitely gonna make an impact there. I just think he's a great player. But just for me, remember I had the sniff test about Buffalo, right? Okay, I have a sniff test about Philadelphia. Over 18 games last year. Do you agree on paper they had a lot of talent last year?
loaded.
But no confusion, loaded, right? We've said it, Byron, but they played 18 games that just didn't look good. Like
No,
they didn't have like a one impactful game. And remember, Eric, I don't say anything because Eric's not here, but I'm just bringing up his comments. He's like, well, that perfect game, no one's gonna have it, but they didn't play one game that was a dominating game. Do you remember one? I mean,
not a one. And other people, I ain't gonna mention their name, kept saying, "Oh, well, they're gonna turn the switch. They're gonna turn the switch on. Turn the switch. Turn the switch." Still waiting for them to turn the switch.
heard a switch. They got knocked out right off the bat.
Yeah,
You know, so to me, there's something else going on internally, right? I mean, because it can't be something's wrong. It's just too much talent, right? The great record, great everything else, but this, I don't have that. I'm going into this year without as confident of the strength of that team, even with adding Saquon, just because of everything else. Like Saquon's not going to change if there's an internal issue within that organization. Is that a fair statement? Like one player, because Saquon's quiet. He's not a he's not a one of those vocal players that's going to come in and really just rev it up. You know what I mean? He lets his performance speak for himself.
right.
So, well, we'll see what happens. I like Saquon, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about Saquon that he's there. I wish him well. Obviously, when he plays against the Giants, but the Giants are just bad. So, and you're gonna see it based on what I have here. So let's keep going. Giants, yeah. Okay, what do you think about the guard they signed, John Runyon?
Uh, you remember his dad played for the Eagles, John Runyon. the one that used to give Michael Strahan fits back in the day. His father was a great player. His father was the beast, man. His father's huge.
Really?
He was a, I think he ran for Congress too. He was a like a politician once he retired. But his father was a great player for a long time for those guys. And hopefully he can come in and fix the guard position. Either left guard or right guard, wherever they're going to put him. And I think today I read something where he prefers to play left guard. I think. And yeah, when I kept doing my thing as far as like Evan Neal, he's a bust at right tackle. He's a bust at right tackle. And then, I thought he was a better left guard when he played at Alabama. That was probably his best position. So now, between the guy that they signed at right tackle, who I'm sure we're going to talk about, and this guy, he's looking like Eric Flowers as far as being a bust, as far as finding a position for this guy, because he has too much talent to be as bad as he is.
Who's this? Runyon?
No, Eric, I mean Evan Neal, but Runyon,
Neo.
yeah, Neal, but yeah, Runyon was a good player, at Green Bay. The only problem with him is that I think he's a little weak with the run game, as far as run, but the new offensive line coach that the Giants have, probably, work out those little issues that he had with run block. But pass blocking, he's supposed to be pretty good.
Well, I'm happy we got a guard because it took me a while. And the next thing is we also lost the guy you wanted to resign, Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
And instead we got because the reason I was hoping John would come on the show because we got his boy Drew Lock.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
tell me, so what do you think about trading Tyrod Taylor and getting Drew Lock? I would assume Drew Lock is better than Tyrod Taylor, but are we
But
paying this guy big dollars? I mean, Drew Lock really hasn't done anything. Isn't
um,
that the guy that John hated,
yeah,
Ronenberg?
yeah, yeah,
He
boy,
doesn't
did
like
he hate?
he hates Drew Lock.
He hates Drew Lock. Hate. But maybe they wanted to go, I don't know, go cheaper or younger. Tyrod Taylor's in his 30s, and,
Mhm.
and he only went to the Jets, across the hallway. So I don't know why he went there, but Drew Lock, I don't know. And they kind of waited, when all the other quarterbacks got picked through. They could have, maybe got like Jameis Winston or Joe Flacco, and somehow today, I don't know if it's true that they re-signed Mike Glennon too, but I think that was like a rumor or whatever. I don't know.
Skeletor?
Yeah, I gotta check that one out because I wasn't. I saw something I was like, why would they sign a third quarterback? So if they signed a third guy, that thing as far as them drafting a quarterback, you might throw that out the window.
Yeah, this that don't make any sense. So we'll see what happens there. And then we got running back Devin Singletary. He seems pretty good.
Yeah, what you I got into it on Facebook with this one guy because I said something about it seems like Dable and Shane are like signing every Buffalo Bills, guy, when they get turned loose for some. It just looks like that, because every time you turn around, oh well, he used to play in Buffalo, and Singletary was drafted by them in like 2019, played for them for a couple of years, Buffalo, and then ended up with Houston. He's a pretty good back. I think he had like 800 or 900 yards rushing last year. He can catch the ball, and I think his average carry is a little bit higher than Saquon. So he's not a bad back, but it's just the fact that we keep grabbing Buffalo Bills guys constantly.
Yeah, I mean, and AFC, NFC, totally different ball game.
Yeah, I understand the fact that they're coming from like a winning organization. Buffalo now they have that culture, as far as winning, but they really haven't won anything yet. They can't for them for a second, but they haven't gotten over the hump with Kansas City or Cincinnati, whatever team. But for some reason, we just keep picking up Buffalo guys, and it's like,
And it's not that. It's that Buffalo hasn't been, no matter how good or they have been, they've also been really bad. Like in the same season. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They look like an unbeatable a team half the season, and then they look like a terrible team the other half. And then last year they became a beast going into the playoffs, right?
right, yep,
So, so for them to keep signing these guys just doesn't make any sense for me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know if that's just Dable feels more comfortable that way, but he should be on the Dable should be on the chopping block, man, because if he doesn't do something, they're terrible, man. You know that.
Yeah,
We got one guard where he got fix the line.
how long we been talking about the line, man? We've been talking about the line for 5 years, man, and it's like it gets old. That and I looked up something where they've drafted 13 offensive linemen since 2013. 13,
Hmm.
13, and only two are I don't know if you remember Weston Richburg was a center, left and went to the 49ers, back a while ago. Will Hernandez left and went to the Cardinals, a few years ago. And besides that, all the rest of them, eh, nothing, nothing.
Well, remember last year, the first 6 games, we had 6 different offensive line matches.
Let's don't forget the big, the elephant in the room, them 85 sacks, 85. The record is 100. They were close.
Look, that's real close. 85% of the record.
Yeah, yeah.
That is real close. All right, who was the other guy you mentioned? Because I didn't have him on the list that you said you thought we were going to talk about.
Besides uh, the right tackle from the Raiders, he played for I forgot. It begins with his last name with an E or whatever. I forgot it.
I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
see.
real happy. Uh, Elmendor or something like that. What it EL whatever. I forgot his name. But he
Yeah.
played for the offensive line coach at the Raiders, and he's a swing tackle. He played guard, and or he can play right tackle, and he might be the right tackle. You know,
Uh, Here we go. Uh, just back to Devon Singletary. He had 898 yards, 216 carries last season with Houston. He's steady, but he's not a Barkley. Of course, that level in terms of explosive will not command the attention from defense that will ease pressure off of Daniel Jones. So they're not giving him a big rank, but um all right, so let me go. Let's go. So that's the Giant stuff. Then Drew Lock coming there. So we talked about that. Let's go talk about the league. Did I call it or did I not call it about you gotta fix your phone. I see more of your ceiling.
yeah, because my phone is getting ready to die already.
Oh my God. You got a
Yeah,
charger?
yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to put it. Like right there.
You gotta charge it. Yeah, but you gotta charge it, you gotta lift it. You can't lift it. You're killing me. You and your travels, bro. We gotta figure out how to give you a travel package and stuff. Okay, did I call it? All right, well, hold on. Let me let you get fixed up here because now I see the ceiling.
I know you're gonna see all kinds of stuff. Can't open
Well, live out of the Poconos, this is exactly how we have the technology challenge.
it. I know. Let me walk around.
All right.
Keep going.
So, all right. So, look, I called it. Didn't I tell you Russell Wilson, the best fit for him is the Steelers?
Yes, you did.
And I am telling you, I think he's going to do well there because Tomlin's a player's coach. And coming off of Sean Payton and getting at least some love from a coach that has won without they haven't had a real quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. And their defense is pretty good. And Russell Wilson, I think that's a good fit for them. I'm happy for the Steelers. I'm sure Joey Bag of Donuts remember Joey didn't think they were getting him because
No, he
because
didn't.
because Santiago was like Joey didn't seem too excited. I says no, Joey wanted Russell Wilson, but Joey just didn't think he was going to get him. And did they get him, man, for a steal, bro? What for less than $1 million?
Like a million, like 300 and something thousand per for a year.
So that's gonna lace them up to be able to get a lot of other players, right?
Yep. All right, I'm charted, but you'll be looking at the ceiling.
All right, good. As long as I can see your face, that's it. Let's keep your face going over there. All right, good. So hey, I'm happy for Russell Wilson and I'm happy for Mike Tomlin. I think that they're going to do well. But look, this is going to make or break Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? He has to perform. But he had a good season with he had a pretty good season with the Broncos. I mean, his numbers were good.
Yeah, but he just what's the name just hate that guy. I don't know why
He,
you would hate Russell Wilson. Maybe because with the allegedly with the his own office and his own
yeah, but
entourage and his
so
own.
what? That was the coach allowed that though.
Yeah, but
A
now you
player a player's going to get away with whatever a player can. Yes or no?
yes, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure Bill Parcells wouldn't put up with that either.
He wouldn't, but you can't blame the player. As long as the player falls back into the line when you come to coach, that's all you should care about, right?
Yeah,
And Russell Wilson doesn't look like a complainer.
no, not well. You never know what he's like behind closed doors, though.
You don't know what he's like behind his doors, but something would have came out somewhere along the line, right? He did complain a little bit about, Pete Carroll and this and that. And look what Pete Carroll did with Geno Smith. But I'm happy for Russell Wilson. I'm happy for Mike Tomlin, but I knew he was going to go there. Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. I think that's a good move.
Yeah,
And
that
I know
kind of
you don't
put.
like Kirk Cousins too much, but I think it's a good move for him.
They were looking at his numbers as far as how much money he's made, and you need to check that out, man. Because it's like
I
it's like
I heard it's
400
high. Yeah, it's like almost half a billion.
career, $429 million.
He's also like he's almost 30. He's like 30 something years old too.
Like
He's
35.
I didn't think he was I thought he was a lot younger than that.
No, and how many playoff games he won?
No, but that's why I always kept saying, whatever numbers he put up, I don't have faith in him. You know what I mean? So no matter how good the Minnesota was doing, I didn't have faith that Kirk Cousins was going to take him any further. Does that make
Yeah, but
sense?
answer that question, man. How many playoff games he won?
I don't know. Any one maybe?
One,
Yeah, one game.
one,
Well,
and he
mhm.
made $429 million in guaranteed money he's got over his career.
Well, Deshaun Watson.
No. We need to talk about Kirk Cousins because he's made more money during the course of his career than Peyton Manning and Eli.
Yeah, but all those players were paid differently. I mean, if you're going to go that way,
Yeah,
now those guys are making big bucks now. They got what do they call it? Well, I forgot the name of their production company.
yeah. Uh,
They got a production company. They're signing Bill Belichick. I mean, these guys are doing some big stuff. The Mannings.
look, come on, let's. I want to think about that for a second. 400. Kirk Cousins has won
You see,
one playoff game, and he's gotten $429 million for what? But nobody says nothing about that.
hey, our boy's back. Aaron, um, from the Commanders. He goes, Washington's winning the NFC East this year.
He said the same thing last year.
Did he? Miami fan talk. You're live. Laugh out loud. What's going on, Miami fan talk? I gotta switch back and forth because since Byron's in the Poconos, I restream. I gotta look at it here. Hello, gentlemen, sirs. Hey, but you never know with Washington. Look. I don't have any problem with them saying Washington is going to win it because the NFC is wide open. I'm not convinced with the Eagles unless they come out guns blazing. Dallas is Dallas, and the Washington's got a lot of cap space.
Yeah, and that's it. I think they said they traded Sam Howell today somewhere,
Mhm.
and they don't have a quarterback.
They'll pick one. I mean, they'll figure something out, but they got a lot of money.
And Bissett, Jacoby Bissett is a quarterback
Mhm.
now. They picked him
Yeah,
up, but come
exactly. All right. So then Kirk Cousins, what do you think about Henry to the Ravens?
Man, let's see. Let's think about this. Last year, when they were in the playoffs and when they ran the ball with the running back like six times,
Six times.
six, and like, and I think what's his name ran like eight, the whole game. Do you think maybe it's going to be a little bit different when they got that big giant running back there? That maybe this might tip things into their favor now, where Todd Monken won't get a case of dumbass. I'm exactly what I said, and decide to run the ball with Derrick Henry back there.
I really think that teams went against Kansas City trying to figure out how to change the way they play to beat them instead of playing their game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because and I think that ended up in Kansas City's favor. Kansas City played their game no matter what, and they played away. And the other teams were trying to figure out, all right, we got to change the way we play if we're going to beat Kansas City. I don't know why. I think their fear caused them to lose because to run the ball 6 times. It's almost like to me, if I was a Raven fan, it's a smack in the face. I think Derrick Henry's a great back to get him, but you were leading the lead in rushes last year, and then when it counted, you ran 6 times.
Six, six, six.
Right. So by getting Derrick Henry, what are you doing? Are you just doing that to appease the fans? Because you had a pretty good record last year without Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
right? So did you get it to appease the fans to say, hey, look, we got Derrick Henry. We may run the ball more than 6 times when it counts.
Well, guess what? You have a back there now that can carry the ball 25, 30 times a game. So if they don't use him up, because he's 30 years old, he's getting toward the end. And if they don't use him like they're supposed, like the way the Titans use him, and take a little bit of mileage off of Lamar Jackson, well, shame on them.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a travesty. I'm telling you. But I'm just like I said, hopefully it makes a difference. Remember, the Odell, I think is hasn't re-signed with them yet, has he?
Nah,
Um, just see what they have, what they're going to do with their receivers. But last year I thought was probably their best shot of at least reaching the Super Bowl.
yeah.
So we'll see what happens this year, but you never know. Um, the Texans signed edge rusher Danielle Hunter. I mean, the Texans a good team.
They're young. They have all the cap space. They got
Mm.
C.J. Stroud and the receivers, and they're the team to look out for. In the future. As far as that new
Yeah.
block.
Exactly. And then the Browns, they kept edge rushers Darius Smith, so that solidifies their defense, keep their defense going. But I still think the Browns got problems because they signed, I think Jameson Winston went there, so they got another quarterback, right? And because you don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson, but he doesn't care. He got his money. The team that is scaring me, that I think is, you know, if LaFleur doesn't do something with the team that he has, then he's a bust. They just signed Josh Jacobs, which is one of my favorite running backs, and they signed Xavier McKinney to that young Packers team that did pretty good in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, those are two great add-ons. Josh Jacobs from the offensive side and Xavier McKinney, which we didn't want to lose.
yeah,
Packers gonna look. They should be really good this year.
yeah. Because Josh Jacobs is durable. He doesn't. Michael Wood. He doesn't. Hasn't been like crazy hurt.
He hasn't
Aaron
been
Jones.
crazy hurt. He's a journeyman.
Yeah, and he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. In between the tackles. Don't forget, he's a Tulsa guy too. Just not the University of Tulsa, but he grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I
And
like him.
yeah, he's hard running back, man. One of them, like, where's he getting? One of those Alabama Crimson Tide running backs.
Yeah. Well, but remember we were talking about the Green Bay, how young they were and how good we feel they're going to be. Adding those two players is pretty impactful. And they got cap space because they got rid of Rodgers.
They got a lot of cap space, and
Yeah.
they're getting younger and they're going to be better. With the quarter, what's his name, Jordan Love. Jordan Love, the quarterback.
Jordan
He's
Love.
just going to
Yep,
get
yep.
better.
Jordan Love.
He's
Yeah,
just going to
he
get
played well,
better.
and they got playoffs experience now. I mean, they won a playoff game more than Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas ain't won nothing in the last 30 years. So that
They won a playoff game. I mean, they played well in the playoffs.
and almost could have pulled one of them off.
Exactly. So I mean, that's what scares me. And then a shout out to Joe Flacco
Yeah,
signing with signing with the Colts. He was eating Thanksgiving dinner at home, goes plays very well for Cleveland, and ends up signing with the Colts. You got to, hey, you got to root for players like that.
hey, he's getting paid, man. You know, you figure if they're gonna keep paying, let's see, he's 900 years old, and if they're gonna keep him, they're gonna he is in his 30s, and if they're gonna keep paying him, you know what? I keep going out there too. What do they always say? Being the backup quarterback is probably the best job. All you got to do is stand there, hold the clipboard, and be ready to go.
They said that, yeah, that is the best position because you get paid quarterback money and you don't get hit.
Nah, not at all.
He's 39, dude.
There you go. It's still hanging in there. Got a Super Bowl MVP, got a ring, and he can show the young guys, look at what I got.
He
This
goes
is
from Thanksgiving to on the bench, watching the games to signing a 1 year, $8.7 million deal.
is it guaranteed?
Let's see.
Probably is.
Probably is. I mean, he performed really well. I mean, so
Well,
you can't deny how he performed.
you
One
figure they
year
got
contract.
that guy, Josh Johnson. That's
He's
the one.
got 4.5, half of it's guaranteed.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
4.5 million? No doubt. Well,
Uh,
he was out of the league.
he was home,
He was out of the league to come back in the league to get a guaranteed 4.5 million.
and he's another Jersey guy. He's from Audubon, the South Jersey.
Who, Flacco?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Delaware. He went
Yep.
to
Penn
where
State,
Davis went.
Penn State, and then Joe. What you call?
University of Delaware.
Yep, Delaware. Blue
The Blue
Hens.
Hen, Blue
Go
Hens.
Blue
Yeah.
Hens.
Mhm. Yeah. I wanted to go there. I almost went there. Um, well, yeah, look, I'm happy for him. When you see a 39-year-old quarterback, I mean, we know what his career earnings are.
I'm sure. No, this is the one guy you did when you have a chance to look up. Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson. He's been with like 35 teams. I think he's been with like at least 10 NFL different teams, and he's still hanging around.
Wow. No joke. He's made 175 million. And then let's go look at your boy one more time. Kirk Cousins' career NFL earnings.
Keep
281 million,
keep going.
which includes a $50 million signing bonus that he'll be getting from the Falcons. He's getting a $50 million signing bonus.
Nice. I take that too.
It says free in hold on. Let's see what this says. Kirk Cousins soon will be able to say that he made more money than Brady in the NFL.
Yep.
He won't go down as the best NFL quarterback in history, but he could end up as the best quarterback in one certain category, and that category is milking every possible dollar out of free agency.
Oh man.
Yeah. He also listen. He signed with the Falcons that not only is worth 180 million, but it also includes 100 million in guaranteed money. He's
Guaranteed.
He's thanks to guaranteed money, Cousins is now set to pass Tom Brady on the NFL's list of the highest earning career earnings. Since his year, Cousins has raked in 281 million in contract money, which includes 50 million signing bonus that he'll get from the Falcons. Cousins earns 185 million in the total during the 6 seasons with Minnesota. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Then
but look at this.
he had an unprecedented 3 year deal that was fully guaranteed for 84 million. So he's got 50 million guaranteed, he got 84 million guaranteed, and he's got another 100 million. Oh my God.
But the crazy thing is, Tom Brady made his money over what, 22 years, 23 years.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins ain't been around that long. He's been around long, not that long.
Let's see. Yeah, but I mean, for him to even be put in the mouth of Brady, right? Here's a look at the top five earners in NFL history via the over the cap. Aaron Rodgers 343, Stafford 328, Brady 317. Can you imagine Brady's third and Brady took pay cuts?
Yeah, just think if he didn't pay cuts.
Yeah, listen to me. Kirk Cousins is number five. So he's in the league with everybody. He's the top five, the top three have won a Super Bowl, and the only two. Did you know Matt Ryan's got 306 million,
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, how
and
many
he
won
hasn't done
Super Bowl?
anything. He didn't win
And
any Super Bowls.
how many won Super Bowl? What, two? Brady and Aaron Rodgers. That's it.
But Aaron Rodgers has won one, Stafford won one, and Brady's won seven.
Okay, well, he trumps everybody.
Yeah, Brady crushes them. Yeah. So, but they all at least won a Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers was MVP several times, right? Um, that's some crazy. I wouldn't have if you would have told me that I wouldn't have believed it. And then it says here, um, let's go back to Cousins. It's Stafford, Rodgers, and Cousins all played out. If they play out their final years of their current contract and don't sign a new deal, their current earnings would look like this: Stafford 422, Rodgers 419, Cousins 411 million.
Yep, I told you. And 400 million for one playoff win. One,
One
one,
play off. Exactly. I think
one.
but Ryan went further. Didn't Ryan make it to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl?
No, remember when they went to the Super Bowl and they collapsed with 25-3 to the Patriots?
Right, but they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they made a playoffs a couple times, but yeah, but he's known for the collapse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's incredible. All right, let's look at the other picks that are going around there. What else
Uh,
has happened over there in New York? Last time we talked about, remember, I went off on Giant fans when they wanted to get rid of the quarterback and the running back. And like, get
well,
linemen.
guess what? That happened. But you forgot the one guy that we signed, man.
Who?
The one we traded for, Brian Burns for the Carolina Panthers, outside
No.
linebacker, 5 years, $180 million.
Oh God.
You forgot about that?
No, I probably didn't want to remember it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
Is
no.
it is he worth 180 million?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. He's a good player, really good.
Well,
And
they got to, as long as he can help Thibodeau and Thibodeau lives up to his billing, you know what I mean?
well, this guy is better than Thibodeau, just so you know.
Well, goes back to where's Joe Capral telling me he's the next ILT.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why you should never say that about a player. Every time they say this guy's the next Michael Jordan, he ends up flopping. Every time you say he's the next LT, the guy ends up flopping. It's like the curse of the Madden cover.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Burns is supposed to be pretty good. They had him. He was in New York and had the press conference today. They were, he was talking about, he, being the guy. He's a team player. He leads by example pretty much. So it seems like he has his head screwed on straight. He's not gonna come up here and not do his thing. But he was pretty good down there, in Carolina. He's a great player. Down there with the Panthers. So they got a good one because they traded a second and a fifth, like a second round pick this year and a fifth next year, and then they signed in 5 years, $180 million.
Yeah. I think you mentioned Jacoby Brissett. He went to the Patriots.
Yep, I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, he went to the Patriots. We'll see what happens there. I'm interested to see how this guy does with the Patriots. Garden Mushu went to the Raiders. You Flacco, we already talked about the Colts. Winston went to the Browns. I mean, the Browns is just rotating quarterbacks. I mean, we're gonna see what happens. But
They just they signed another Alabama guy. And I can't think of the receiver's name, but they have Amari Cooper. There was another guy that they just got that played in Alabama too, like within the last week or two. I can't. What's the name?
Mariota went to the Redskins, so I mean to the Commanders, so I don't know
Well, they got
why
a
these.
They gotta have a backup quarterback. When they draft a quarterback this year, because I think they're like number two, second pick in the draft, so they're gonna definitely take a quarterback.
Well, I don't see anything about Dallas though.
Yeah, that's what everybody. That's what my boys was talking about. Dallas hasn't done a thing. They let their center left. He signed with Washington. The left
Hmm.
tackle, he's floating. Tyron Smith is floating around in free agent purgatory. Uh, they haven't signed any running backs, which they need. The only guy they have is the Deuce, the little guy, the one that's like 5'3", the running back from Kansas State or one of those schools. They got him,
Hmm.
another dude. Uh, they haven't done anything,
Nothing.
nothing. And maybe because they got like the contracts, they got to pay Dak. Dak's gonna be 60 million a year. Uh,
Micah.
Micah
No,
got to pay.
but no, Dak. They said, oh, they got to pay Dak, but they also said Jerry Jones is not going to renegotiate his contract.
Oh well, it is what it is. And then CD Lamb, they got three guys they got to pay.
Yeah.
So they have been like really, 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 really quiet. They're like nothing. They're like the only team that didn't sign anything. I think they signed like two today, but when it first opened, nothing.
Leonard Williams is staying with the Seahawks.
I guess he likes. I guess he likes it out there on the West Coast.
Well, I mean, okay, you're playing for Pete. You're not playing for Pete Carroll now, but I mean, you know, you're playing for a defensive team. You probably like it. He probably likes it out there in Seattle. I don't know why it rains all the time.
Is
The
Washington
Giants.
one?
Oh, the Giants added another tackle, Jermaine Eluemuner. I can't spell
That,
L-E. Did you know
that's
that?
that's the guy.
That's the one you were talking about.
The
He's
guy.
right. He's a right tackle
Yes, yes, he
for
is,
Vegas. Yeah,
and
he
he can
signed him
play.
for 2 years, 14 million.
Yep, that's a cheap deal because they're going to throw him at right tackle and see how it works out. Because, like I said before, Evan Neal, it's not looking good for my man.
Yeah, but if he moves over to the left, won't that be better?
Move over to left what?
Didn't you say he was a left tackle,
No, he's left
Evan?
guard. He's playing left tackle. We already have Andrew Thomas, like left guard.
So
He's just like
yeah, so if we can move Evan Neal over to left guard, we have Runyon at the right guard. We have this guy at the right tackle. We have Thomas on the left tackle. Now we just
and
need our center.
we got one, John Michael Smith.
Okay, so then we're getting there then.
And how many times we said in the last 5 years that when you build an offensive line, you build from the inside out.
Right. You said we got a center. We
Got a center
just we just signed the right tackle,
and already have a left tackle.
and we already have
And
a left tackle. We just signed the guard that you said his dad was pretty good, which can then move Neil back to left guard, which is
right.
his position you said he excelled in.
Yep. Yeah, but
What's wrong?
what,
Well, what's wrong with that?
no, it's not. It's just that you invested. He was a seventh player pick in the draft. Seven. Top 10 pick. And I've talked about this with other people. Off this that you think maybe that when you do your scouting or whatever with the scouting department and the coaches, and I know like with pro days, a lot of the position coaches work these guys out, as far as this, see what they, if he could play, right tackle because it's a whole different footwork and stance and whatever playing over there, and then for him to be as bad as he's been and supposedly like going into last year, he worked with retired All Pro, right tackle, to fix this stuff, and he was just as bad. And this year he got hurt. He hurt his ankle. They figured, toward the, malpractice. They figured out like he had a chip bone in his ankle or something. And that's why they shut him down. But prior to the ankle, man, he was bad, like bad, bad.
Yeah, yeah, but you also got to say you had said that he was playing a. You were saying the Giant. You had said several times that the Giants keep drafting these linemen just to move them to a position that they didn't play.
Yeah, because like with him, he played at Alabama. He played like left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. Coming out, he played left tackle. His junior, junior year was technically his senior year, so he was a left tackle when the Giants drafted him. So they figured that he played them other three positions that he could play the right tackle position, even though he didn't play it. His last year, at Alabama, he played up and down the line. His whole his 3 years there, and it was just he was 6'7", 335 pounds. He's huge, and maybe the
That's a
speed
big
is
guard,
there,
bro.
but what else you gonna play him? He can't play tackle, because he's just not fast enough, with these edge rushers. He can't go. He can't block. He couldn't block Thibodeau, and so why would you put him, out in space? Because you're out in space by yourself playing either tackle position. If you put him
Right.
at guard, it's like he'll be fighting like somebody like in a phone booth. He just has a smaller area to cover. He does have help, with the left tackle or the center, right there. So that might be better for him, even though he's tall as he is. So hopefully, the quarterback can see, over his head because he is tall, and that is tall for a guard.
Right. But Daniel Jones is pretty tall too, no?
Like 6'4".
And how tall is? Yeah, he'll be. If he's 6'4", he'll be okay. Let's put spikes on. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
But anybody shorter than that is gonna have a problem seeing over this guy.
No, yeah, but yeah, well, we just got to see when Daniel Jones will be able to play.
And it won't be it will not be the first game. Figure with ACL tear. So we ain't gonna see him the first game. They're expecting him to be ready for training camp, but usually that means let's sign these other guys and maybe draft a quarterback, and we'll see when training camp rolls around.
Yeah, well, let's hope we make some of the moves that we need to make because, um, yeah, I can't go through another year like last year, man. I mean, it's just depressing.
Depressing. And then the crazy thing is, it's going to be even worse without a running game. If this guy doesn't, can't run the, they'll be able to run the ball if they block. But if the line doesn't improve, if they don't have, weapons on the outside, Darren Waller, he decided he's going to come back, even though he was him and Hall as far as, retirement. So now you get a tight end that, he's got 1 foot out the door. Every time he gets hurt, it's always his hamstring all the time. So you don't know how many games you're going to get out of him this year. Bellinger wasn't used, correctly. The receiver Hyatt, the kid from Tennessee, he wasn't used. Oh, they let Isaiah Hopkins, the other receiver they got that did pretty well a couple years ago. They let him go. They didn't resign him. Another Buffalo guy, so they haven't resigned him. I think the only receivers they got on contract is uh, Hyatt, Slayton, Wandell Robinson, and the punt returner. They re-signed him. They got 4 guys. That's it. Remember how last year when we said they had like 19 receivers, like, and uh, Wheaton, the big receiver that was out, they got like 4 or 5 guys that are under contract. That's it.
I'm just, I'm concerned in the direction of the ownership of that team. It's just like you said, is it either? I mean, the family has money. Like Tish is still partners, right?
Yeah,
Mara's and the Tish. You, you got money. You don't have to give your kid a job. Give him a job doesn't affect the team. But either
but
do your job because this is just terrible. I mean, there's no reason why we should be this bad. Now,
this
but now for all you Giant fans listening to our show out there, and Byron, to everybody, my boy Paul Gutierrez, shout out to you because everybody was all excited about Danny Dimes and this and that. You did my boy Eli wrong, and you've been bad and worse ever since. That's how I look at it. You should
yeah,
have let him. They should have just let him play his thing out, treat him with dignity. Eli's been nothing but a stand-up guy for the Giants. He still represents the Giants well. And I just didn't like the way he was handled. And I always say that till the day I die, that Eli was not treated with the respect he deserved. And they did no better other than make it to that playoffs that 1 year, and that was it.
yeah. But look at okay. The problem is and it started with Gettleman. As far as not drafting correctly, and they figure they can get like one last hurrah out of Eli. I'm not an Eli basher. I love Eli to death. But instead of them drafting Saquon Barkley that year, they should have drafted Quentin Nelson, the guy that's been all pro every year for the Colts, or trade down and get more picks. That was just a failure of management. What happened that year when Saquon got? They shouldn't have drafted. I love the guy. He did his thing, but they shouldn't have drafted him. They should have, took calls, traded down, like most teams do, got a boatload of, other picks, and continued on with the mission. But they tried to, all right, well, Eli's toward the end. Let's give him a running game and see if we can squeeze a little bit more out of him. That's exactly what happened.
No, I know, but I think they pulled the plug on him too early, and they didn't have that great of a season anyways when Daniel Jones came in. So it was already a downturn of the team. It's just, I just didn't like them pulling Eli. That I think, Daniel Jones could have benefited from a little bit more time with Eli starting, and because they've been bad ever since.
Yeah, but look what
I don't think they would have done any better. I just didn't like that they pulled him so early.
yeah, but look what happened with Kurt Warner. They were 5-4 when they pulled Kurt Warner and put Eli Manning.
Mhm.
Forgot that, did you?
Yeah, but Kurt Warner was, yeah, yeah,
They were 5-4, and they proceeded to. I think they might have won maybe 2 games the rest of the year. With Eli quarterback his rookie
right.
year.
Yeah, but Kurt Warner wasn't a lifer giant. It's a little bit different. Like, Kurt Warner, made I mean, you got to give Kurt Warner credit because he came into the league at 28 and still made it to the Hall of Fame. That's
Yeah,
pretty impressive,
yeah,
you
it
know.
is.
And he lit it up with St. Louis. Um, and I hear what you're saying. I can see what you're saying. You have a valid point. It's just he wasn't a giant. Like you're not going to go and say if you say Kurt Warner to anybody, they're not going to think Giants.
No,
You say Eli Manning, Giants. You say
yeah,
Phil Simms, Giants. Right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like so that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from, just the respect that you should do for a player that they play, no different than how they did, you know, Landry wrong in the Cowboys and, finally
not,
getting Jimmy Johnson into the Ring of Honor. I mean, after how many years? He should have been in there a long time.
not no 30 years or however long it's been. A long time.
Should have been there way longer than probably some of the players.
Yeah,
Jimmy Johnson has changed that game, but hey, we'll see what happens. So we got some stuff coming up with the draft. The draft's coming up pretty soon, no?
April 25th, 26th, 27th.
Yeah, April 26th, 27th. Okay, so then we're gonna be on that Thursday. It'll be on a Thursday when we're playing April 20th. Yeah, because I am.
Hey,
I'm
check it out though. At least they're picking number 6, man. We don't have to wait till like number 20. Like when I thought my head was gonna explode till like 10:30 at night, waiting for the pick.
or number 11, and I almost had a heart attack because they traded down.
Yeah, yeah. And who we end up with? Kadarius Tony.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And where is he?
he's got 2 rings, so we really can't say too much to him.
He got 2 rings, but he's done. I mean, I don't even know. I don't think they're gonna keep him. I'm
Nah, they're
sure
not going to sign him the rookie contract because he's a first round pick, so they ain't signed him to all that money.
they're getting rid of him, and then I can't. He's got the talent that someone's gonna pick him up, but I think he's a problem wherever he goes.
Yeah,
You know, so I don't know about you, but this I love daylight savings, but I've been tired ever since it's changed. It's only been 2 weeks, but for some reason I'm tired. Is it affecting you? I guess being
not,
retired don't affect you much.
not, I go to bed the regular time, 10:30, 11 o'clock, whatever, and get up at 6, 7, whatever time I get up.
Yeah, no, I've been lucky. I slept through the last 2 nights in a row. That's the first time I've done that in probably a couple of years.
No stress, man. No stress. Woosah.
Woosah,
Woosah.
woosah. Well, I'm drinking my chamomile tea before I go, but I've been tired lately, bro.
Because you're always on the run, man. You got to make that money.
That's not about the making of money. It's just working, thinking. I don't know what it is, but sleeping straight through the night for me is good. So I'm just trying to get that rest. But I also haven't worked out like I have been before when I came back and I got sick. I
Right.
haven't been able to hit that. I do like cardio boxing. Oh my God, it's tough. 45 minutes, but bro, I feel incredible when I walk out. I'm drenched and it's boxing. I'm hitting. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's
You
called
beat
Rumble Boxing. They're like a franchise. So they're all over the country.
Rumble in the
Um,
Jungle. I stole that from Muhammad Ali. Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah, so it's called Rumble Boxing, and they're water heavy bags instead of heavy bags. They're these bubbles with water, so it's not hard in your hands. I use 16-ounce gloves, but at least keeps me in my form, my jabs and my hot, my cooks and stuff. But man, let me tell you, and the funny part is 75% are women in there. I'm like,
Just
why are so many women boxing? But anyways, let me tell you, I come out of there feeling really good. But while I'm in it, I'm like, man, is this thing gonna ever end? Because it's cardio, you know what I mean?
you're having
Yeah,
flashbacks to your college days.
and the women are kicking your butt
Yeah.
because they can do cardio with no problem. You know, I just wish that somebody would correct them so they keep their guards up. But I like it because I get to hit something, get my frustration out, and I also like it because I come out of there, you know, release of stress. So, all right, well, when we start wrapping up this show a little bit early today, we thought we had a couple more people coming on, but we're going good. And again, the Giants made a couple moves. Dallas has been quiet. Philadelphia picked up some good people. Washington's been a little bit quiet. Um, but we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, Green Bay, they're looking tough. I still think Kansas City is the team to beat. But the Vikings still haven't re-signed Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's hanging around. Well, you got to see who the quarterback someday.
It's Sam Darnold.
Yeah, like I said, you got to wait to see who the quarterback someday.
That's what I said. I'm like, why would you pick him? Why would he stay there, man? I'm telling you, he should go to the Chiefs, in my opinion.
Well, you figure
Hey,
his,
hey, wait a second. Didn't I tell you that Kansas City was going to re-sign Chris Jones?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I told you they were going to re-sign him. I told you. Somehow I got to figure we should look that up for next week. How
He's
they
the
pulled
he's the third best player on that team. Yeah, of
how
course.
they pulled, yeah, but wait a second, because of the money. Everybody was worried about the money. And I'm saying that team looked like they all want to repeat. I think they want to build for them to get a three-peat, now they're in a different league. You know what I mean? Now, they already got three Super Bowls, so they're in a different league. But to three-peat,
Yeah, it's a little different now.
and all of them said it. Kelsey, Reed, Mahomes, Chris Jones said it. Chris Jones said it. He talked to Hines family, do what you got to do, but I'd like to come back. He said it right after the Super Bowl.
Well, he's putting them on the spot by doing it right then.
Boy, that's smart in his side, right? But
Yeah,
I don't blame him putting it on the spot. But I'm happy they resigned him. Hold on, before we leave, let's see what they resigned him for. Do you
something crazy.
know?
95 million. I don't know. Something. I know it's a lot. It's more than I got.
Yeah, more than you and I got combined. All right, Chris Jones. I like him too, by the way. Chris Jones.
When you have a chance when you're off, look
Yeah,
at look at the tape when he ran the 40-yard dash coming out of college.
really?
It's entertaining what happened.
Hold on. He signed a 5-year, 150 million, 58 million with 101 in guaranteed money, edging out Aaron Darnold as the NFL's highest paid defensive tackle last offseason. And the Chiefs couldn't agree on a multi-year contract. And Jones and the Chiefs couldn't agree on a multi-year contract leading to his training camp holdout, which included missing the week one's loss to Detroit. Oh, so he didn't even play against Detroit. That's when they lost. but he got 150. He got 101 million guaranteed. I just want to know how they did it. You know,
restructured other people's contracts.
that one. Do you think
Some
they
people,
restructured Mahomes' contract? I was assuming Mahomes was going to give up some.
yeah, they probably did. They just didn't, let everybody know what they did.
He got 30 million signing bonus. He's got 95 million guaranteed and an average annual salary of $31 million in 2024.
I think he's
And will
29 years old too. He's 29 or 30.
he'll earn a salary of 1.2 million, a signing bonus of 30 million, and a workout bonus of 100,000, which while carrying a cap hit of 7.3 million and a
Not
dead
bad.
cap value of 60 million. What's the difference
Look,
between carrying a cap hit of 7.3 and a dead cap value of 60 million?
he'll never get to that because that's usually like the last year of the contract where it's like it balloons to $60 million. And
Hmm.
usually, what they do is they restructure it before it hits that 60 number. They do it with the quarterbacks all the time, where if it's 50 million, no, we don't pay. So we're going to convert, your salary to 7 million, and we're going to give you, $43 million bonus or whatever, however it goes.
Well, the brother's guaranteed $100 million. That's what
Uh,
I'm at the end of the day. That's what I'm at. And he got signing his name, he gets 30 million.
Sign your name and send me my check.
30 million. I couldn't even imagine that looking in the bank account. $30 million.
I would keep looking at the bank account. Let me look at that again. Let me make sure that's there. There you go, my man.
He needs to put it in an insurance policy to protect it.
No, I'm sure he has insurance.
Nah, he ain't got the my insurance. All right, brother. All right, so look, don't forget to smash the like button on YouTube. Check the notifications. Check out our podcast every Thursday at what time? 8 o'clock when you're not on an iPhone. Byron, you'll be back next week at home in Philly.
I'll be home.
All right, be back home in Philly so we can go normal style. Welcome to our show every Thursday, 8 p.m. Same bat channel, same bat time, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Stitcher. Please tune in, subscribe, tell your friends, come on our show, ask questions, leave comments. We talk NFC East Giants, Washington Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles, and then we'll talk around the league. So we're very excited about that. Stay safe, God bless, and have a good night. Peace.